Today we're going to replicate a WordPress site, a single page WordPress site with jump links, very simple build. Take it out of WordPress, take the complexities away, take the plugins and the themes and the hosting and all that nonsense. We're going to feed it into Replit. We're going to let Replit build it, and it's going to look literally exactly the same. Let's get into it. How would I begin this? Let's go to Perplexity. I'm going to enter in that prompt that I read earlier and see what they have to say. While it's doing its thing, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start to prepare. I'm going to start saving all the images. I'm going to do this all in real time. So I'm going to start a new folder, Rushwood, and start saving the assets down. The handy little tool that I really like to use, there's two of them actually to do this process. One of them is called Go Full Page. Okay, Go Full Page, you see the little Pac-Man doodad right there? This is for long pages of websites. Also for, if you're trying to capture an entire mobile environment, you can do it like this. But Go Full Page, and then you get a ping or a PDF of exactly the full web page as it exists. And this is especially helpful if you're using AI to recreate a website or to create a website in general, is to feed it creative information. And so in the form of, here's my homepage and here's the whole website, let's make it look like this. So we're going to use that. I'm also going to grab from here via another handy tool, which is called Image Downloader. And all this does is it see how sometimes if an image is set as a background, you can't save image as. There's no option because it's a background. Whereas this one's probably in the foreground. Yeah, I can save this as a ping, or if I hit save image as, it'll save whatever format it is. But I typically always will use this app on my Chrome, and it's save as ping. This way I make sure I get it in such a format that all places can understand. With that said, I'm going to go down this image downloader thing, and I'm just going to check mark all of the different images and textures and backgrounds and images of the slideshow, all of them, everything that's here. Check, 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 check. And we're going to download all of those things, including these icons. Okay. So download, look at that. Magical. It's fantastic. So every image here, very helpful tools. These two tools right here. Another one that I need all the time that's very important for replicating these sites is a color picker. For very specifically for branding, you need hex colors, and Replit likes specifics when it comes to hex colors. And another one is what's my font, or what font, sorry. And as you roll over different parts of the website, you can see exactly what the font is. And then if you click any specific area, it tells you the size and the line height, color, weight, all that good stuff. This is super helpful. All of these things come into play when we're replicating a website, because this is all the information that you need. But like if you're just coming in blind and saying to Replit, okay, now replicate this website, and you paste it, that's just not enough information for it. The more specific and granular you can be with your prompts, the more specific and granular the outcome is going to be, right? So let's see what Perplexity had to say. They said, ready to use, create a single page website that replicates the structure and style of rushwoodgroup.com. The site should have a fixed top navigation bar. Does it have that? No, it does not. See, it's already bullshitting, bro. 4 main sections: about, services, team, and contact. Nope, not at all. See, that's why you got to check your AI. AI will bullshit. It doesn't even know what the hell it's talking about. I want to just see for the hell of it if ChatGPT would have done a better job at pulling the data from a live website. Because again, if this is supposed to be a live demo of what I'd be doing, then this is exactly my next step. Because I wouldn't trust that if it's already gotten 2 things wrong, I would assume it's gotten all this other stuff. Home, about, team, investments, contact. What the hell? You know what? Guess what? Forget it. Forget it, forget it, forget it. I'm not using this at all. We're going to just go right into Replit, and we're going to say, I want to replicate rushwoodgroup.com, a one-page WordPress site with jump links in the nav that go to the sections of the site. Super basic. And here is a screen grab of the site as it is. I want the design verbatim. Fonts is Rubik, and that it would include the nav, headers, and body copy. So those are important aspects. Nav, headers, and body copy. And Weights. Weights. The weights of a font means the boldness or the thinness of a font. Typically, 400 is normal, 700 is bold, with every increment above or below being thicker or thinner. Okay, let's see. And I'm going to feed it. All images in the build are attached, because you can't assume that. You can't assume that Replit is going to just go in. Let me just fix that real quick. You can't assume that Replit's just going to go in and start scavenging the website and taking all the images down. Like that's just asking too much of it. So let's just give it everything. Let's give it everything that we have. Now, the only thing I'm not going to give it right now is actually, let me just get all this crap into the Rushwood folder and then open the Rushwood folder. Okay. So I'm not going to give it all the slideshow stuff because I don't want to confuse it yet. Okay. And I'm going to tell it that too, but I'm going to give it everything else. And I'm going to give it this homepage. So I don't know if everyone knows this or don't know this, but if you control click, you can select multiple items. If you shift click at the beginning and end of a string, you can select all the items on a PC anyway. I wouldn't know about you Mac folk. Okay. Accept the slideshow. Just use a blank for that for now. Okay. So let's take a look at what it comes up with in real time with no editing based on this simple prompt for this simple website. Like, I acknowledge this is not like some groundbreaking website build, but it's a pain in the ass and it's a problem. The problem is this: WordPress is too complicated for little websites like this in this day and age. There's no reason for the complexity of plugins, themes, and hosting and all the nonsense that is involved with making sure all those things are always maintained so that a site doesn't get hacked or broken or have some theme problem or plugin problem. It's just a dated problem that just must go. It's like a lead filling in your tooth or a metal filling in your tooth. Like, it did the thing at the time because I just had a tooth problem with an old filling, and it did the thing at the time, but the time's passed for that technology. They would never put that in now, just like I would never build with WordPress from scratch for any website going forward, knowing what I know right now. And this is last 1 year that I built my last WordPress website and maintain many of them, and I will for as long as necessary. But my goal is to get everybody off the site. Enough with the small talk, pal. Let's just start this and see what happens. And I didn't improve the prompt. I didn't do anything else. I love that it's saying take screenshots and all that stuff, but I already know how to do all that stuff. So I entered in the data that I believe that it needs to make this simple website. Based on my use of this program or this application, whatever you want to call it in this day and age. Okay, so it's saying, I understand you want to replicate the rushwoodgroup.com website as a one-page site with jump navigation. First, let me examine the original site. Great, perfect. I have a clear understanding of the website structure and content. Based on your requirements and site analysis, I'll create a comprehensive plan for replicating this one-page WordPress website with jump navigation. A verbatim replica as a one-page React website with jump nav, rubric typography, and all provided imagery. All of the things that are going to be here. And it's asking me to approve this plan. Yeah, and I do approve this plan. And we're going to let this thing build out. It's going to definitely have errors. Like, it never gets it right on the first try. No matter how many times I try to get it right on the first try, it never gets it right on the first try. And I'll say, well, dude, come on. Don't get creative on me. Don't do it. I know you want to. I'm asking you nicely. I want verbatim. That means literally exactly the same with no change or modification. Do you think it'll do it? I don't think it will. But I'm dying to see what it's coming up with. I want no changes, bro. Don't do it. Things are happening, dude. Things are happening. This, to me, watching this just work is really freaking weird, man. Look at that. It's just, I know it's just a simple little thing, like, but when this was your sole job for 10 years, which was building or enhancing WordPress sites, and it wasn't the only thing I did, but it was a primary source of my business and my revenue. And to watch this like robot thing just come in here and just rip it out, rip out a form, rip out the proper icons, set up the different areas, although not quite at all what I'm looking for, I'm 1000% confident that I'll get this right. And I'll point out the art director in me or the creative direction in me, whatever you want to call it, just the ability to look at something through creative eyes instead of technical eyes and talk to the computers so that they know what you're trying to get. It's just almost identical to talking to offshore developers and the type of English that you have to use. Let's see what we got here. All right, we're still working, a few minutes into it, and I'm just gonna let it run and just shut up. 7 minutes of work, 1,471 lines of code changed. Now, this is what I'm talking about. So like if you take what you get something that's half-ass, almost identical to what you would have gotten if you hired an offshore developer. So what I'm going to do from here is I'm going to ask it one time. Please look at this screenshot. Please look at the screenshot and adjust. There are several errors. And I'm going to say start at the nav, fix the logo. And so I'm going to give it the logo and I'm going to give it the screenshot again. I'm not going to give it anything else. So one of the rules here is don't give it too much at once. We're going to give it this though. Okay. Don't give it too much at once. It will just spin in a circle and it will freak out. Okay. So I can see from the screenshots, it's like it goes back and forth with you like you're talking to someone. Although again, it will bullshit you as well. I can see from the screenshot that the current website has several issues compared to the original. Let me examine it. Navigation, the logo should be the Russia group. The hero section should have futuristic building images, background, layout, blah, blah, blah. So let me start by fixing the navigation with the proper logo. So what it'll do is as it's doing things, it'll kind of tell you out loud, so to speak, what it's doing. And what's with this giant gap though, dude? And that's the thing, I'll talk to it like that. I'm like, dude, could you please just get it right? Because sometimes it'll do the most complex things and it'll do it with asking once. But then sometimes you want something so simple like closing a gap or moving something like simple and it like just bugs out and it doesn't understand. So you have to like reword it and kind of reframe it because it just bugs out. So that's what we're going to do here. I'll let it run through this and then we're going to go head to toe. And I'm only a few minutes into this. Okay. So I'm confident that I could do this in under an hour. Let's see if I'm right. I'm 22 minutes in. Come on, baby. It'll make me crazy because like it just doesn't have logic. Yet it does sometimes. Like it's so close. Like what is this nonsense with this checkerboard? Slideshow placeholder. All right, let's go. We got to get into this. Also, note if you know what I know or if you're some kind of developer of some kind that your brain's going to move faster and want to do more than the speed at which this thing is moving here. However, just try to acknowledge that it's exponentially faster than dealing with an external human. So I believe over time that this will all get sped up a lot. So it didn't even do anything that I asked it to do except make a couple modifications that are just bizarre. So what we're going to do is we're just going to start with the logo. I'm just going to literally hit Windows Shift S. I don't know what it is on a Mac, but Windows Shift S is screenshot. So we're going to start right here with this header logo and with this footer logo. I'm simply going to say replace header and footer logo with attached. Now, do you think it'll do it? Let's see. So replace it. I don't know. I have a funny feeling I'm going to have to ask it to do it again. So again, this may seem like tedious until you realize how long it took to get to this place, which if you were setting up a WordPress site, like setting up the account and getting all the initial crap done, letting the initial thing build, then you have to go get your theme, you have to buy your theme, you have to get the license, you have to install the theme, get the license installed. Then you have to start the whole process of getting your plugins and all that crap and assessing like what the client needed. This to get started, just right out of the gate, you're already saving many hours of work or headaches, credit cards and transactions and just time waste. All right, so it solved that problem. Great. It's a little small. So once I get everything in place, then I'll tweak the little things like the size of this. You know what? I'm going to tweak this font right here, right now. So see how gallery about us, all that is a little bigger. I'm going to send it. See what I'm going to do? I'm just going to screen grab that and say, make the nav be like this. I don't know. We'll see if that works. Make the nav be like this. And could it be any more specific? No, but what I gave it to do was very specific. I want Rubik. I want the weight to be 700, which is bold. Boom. It's doing it. You know, it's funny. I knew it was going to do this. When I grabbed the example, it put a circle on it, but that circle actually only exists because of the font. There actually isn't the outline I meant, but it actually gave me the outline. which I don't even mind so much. I might even just leave it. I think it's kind of cool looking. Okay, it's a little small. Let's see if I make this bigger. It's still a little small. I like it though, actually. But I need remove this stupid thing. Remove this placeholder. Just knock that right out of there. Get that out of my face. So the point that I'm gonna try to get to right here is to fix this background image, get this quantum leap line to the left, and add some transparency to this gray so that the background image shines through. We're gonna fix the green to match the brand green and the underline that happens as you roll over. We're gonna do those things next. And I'm gonna take a screenshot of it so that it can see it and not just, see, the thing is, if you give it just words, not nearly as efficient. Okay, we're making some moves. Okay, now make nav, let's go with 80% opacity. So I'm saying to give this, the gray area up here, opacity, 80%. So you can see just the outline of this. It's real close. Left justify, the quantum leap. I gave it a screenshot of the original. So this is why having the original is very helpful, because if you have nothing to work from, you're not going to be able to get good results at all, like ever. So whether it's an existing old WordPress site or something that you generate from Webflow, which is like optimal if you can go that route, or Figma is a really good tool to just get something that looks like a website, and you can feed Figma into so many different things. But Figma is a really good tool for those who kind of struggle. And even if you just have like black and white pencil on a freaking paper and scan it in, it's better than nothing. Give it some structure or some framework of what you're trying to accomplish. And okay, so I'm saying make sure the nav bar, it actually looks kind of cool though. Oh, look at that. See there, that's a little creative add-on. It does a blur. It does a blur as it's going under. I didn't ask it to do that. I didn't ask for that, but that's kind of cool. That's not cool. Okay, so I reiterate some things sometimes. And so this time I said, make sure navbar area is still visible 80%. So as you scroll, can still see options. Left justify the text. And then I pasted that again. Sometimes, I mean, literally you have to do, like, you have to say the same thing like a few times, but you'll get it. You'll get it. Up, look at that. And then the viewpoint of this is just too tall. So if I need to just give it another example, what I would do is, if I want to get specific, is I would take this screenshot like that, and look at that beefcake, and I would bring it into Photoshop real quick. And by the way, this is what Photoshop has become to me now. It's just like a utility. I don't do anything creative in here anymore. And I would just drag a square and say, okay, the height of this is 1162 pixels. And that's helpful information again, because this height is way too tall. So nav needs dark background as you scroll. So you did one, didn't do the other. Come on. Maybe I'm using the wrong, I have to invert it. I meant 20%. Look at that though. That's what I'm talking about. I can't do that quickly. That's not something you could just blow out quickly. It's a pain in the ass, dude. Look at that. That's actually pretty cool. And I'm down with that. I think that looks dope. Yeah, that's right. I said dope. Okay, now make the viewpoint on the image area 1162 height. And I'll go back to Photoshop real quick. I have to just shut all this other crap down. See, I'm in the state of doing other things. And when I need to get certain things done, I just like to close out all their stuff. But in the case of this right now, I'm just gonna hit image. What the hell? Edit, sorry. Stroke. We're gonna make it a red blotch. I'm gonna save that. Actually, I'm just gonna screenshot it. Okay. Also, if I enter in something and then I have to fix what I'm trying to say, I'll pause it. I believe this green and this green are the same thing. So I'm gonna grab this green color and fix that next. So what it's doing is it's filling 100% of the screen, and it's told me that it's done the work, but it didn't. So I'm saying it's too tall. 1162, right now it fills 100% with typos and no punctuation at all. And then sometimes I'll even get like, it does the same. Why did it do it that time? See what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? And something's up with the color overlay. The overlay is just like black, not purple. So this overlay is too colorful. So you have to know all these terms, right? Overlay and viewpoint and all this other stuff, right? But again, if you don't, you can work through it. Make the overlay black. Make the overlay black, not the shade of purple it is now, so it looks more like the original. Let's reiterate one more effing time. And remove the nav outlines. Damn, that's cool. Isn't that cool? Isn't that cool to just watch that? Because, I don't know, man, just doing this crap by hand. Now I need the opening nav background to have the same, to have a darker background like the original. So like this area, just a little too weird because it's like just a blur effect. Pretty cool. Ain't gonna lie. Okay, let's see what it comes up with. We are 37 minutes into this. It's a little too dark. Add a bit more opacity. Need to see image below it. Make logo, nav height, and links 25% bigger. Look at you. Oh, man. That's dope. Okay, we're going to fix that green in a second. You see where this is going? Okay, perfect. We're just about there. But look at that. See how it unfolds, man. Weird. It's super weird, actually. And I mean, I can literally do this all day long and get it verbatim. So the next thing I asked it to do was make the logo, nav height, and links 25% bigger. All those things being just a little bit bigger, and we'll be more spot on with that. You see it just goes through. I need the logo just a little bigger than that, though. Wow, that's really cool. God, is that weird. All right, so now that's done. Let's get this green intact. So I need this green color to be on brand. And whether or not they care about the exact shade is irrelevant. I want to just show you how to get it to be the exact same thing, just so in case you need to do it. Now make all green in the nav rollovers and titles this specific hex code. And I'm going to highlight this. Oh, by the way, just to get the screenshot in here, all you have to do is when you take the screenshot, it's automatically saved to your kind of like clipboard. Just hit Control V right in the chat. So I'm just highlighting, clicking over here. I don't even have to click over there. It's already there. Control V. I'll even grab that one because of the line. This one, even that freaking button. Yo. Okay, let's see if we could just get that right. It's telling me it's going to do it. Let's see. So, my next demo could potentially take us 6 hours time, 5 hours time. I'm going to do it straight, stream the whole thing, and then cut it up into pieces. But this particular video, I'm going to do the whole thing. I'll rip out some dead air, but for the most part, I just want people to see all the little details. I think it's just really important. Now, did it just add this diversified product distribution thing? All right, whatever. The top part is cool for now. Again, I like this like rollover effect more than I like the line, so I'm not going to even say anything about it because I think it's cool. And actually, I like that the nav sticks, whereas this nav doesn't stick. I like it. I like that it's not in the way. It's kind of nice. So I'm going to leave it. Sometimes it makes these changes that I'm completely okay with that I wouldn't have done just because I wouldn't have come up with a way to blur out the background of this nav, make it transparent. Then as you scroll down, keep that blur. That's really cool. And then give it this little touch, fades away the links, just subtle. I like it. Okay, so why don't we get down to this part and just say, dude, are you kidding? I need our company area to match. So they have all the stuff. It's here. It's just not right. It's exactly like an offshore developer would have done. In their eyes, they're not seeing the creative nuances of placement and pixels and fonts and typography and color. It's just there, so it's done. And that's just not the way it's going to fly with me. Whereas I obsess over these little details, the rest of the world could give a rat's ass, but that's why all of my designs look nice and clean and read well and look good. Come on. It's not perfect, though. So it'll tell you with very excited language. Perfect. I've updated the about section to match the original. And I'm going to go, no, dude, it doesn't match the original. It's close, but you're blind. It's close, but left justify. Drop the stupid line. It's close. Let's go. Come on. You're almost there. And then I don't know what they're looking at, but like, what's up with this monstrous gap between this stock photo and this paragraph? So now just like shrink width and increase body font by 20%, remove gap between paragraph and image. Pretty clear. Telling me it's going to do the shrink. I'll believe it when I see it, bro. Yeah, unfortunately, well, my goal was to get it done in under 1 hour, but see, this is what I'm talking about, where I just align the title and paragraph, make verbatim this. Isn't that funny English? Make verbatim this. Come on, dude. You can do it. Increase the size of the image too. Increase image size, remove huge gap. What's with the gap? So I just told it as it fixed this. Got it right. See? This, and this, these should all align. That's off. And this copy is the wrong color. Okay, let's go, Chief. Definitely while it's working through this kind of stuff, definitely don't compound the problem by adding more instructions on top of that. Well. Look at that. Hey, come back. Come on, man. It's almost done. Then we're going to move down to the last few sections and be on our way here. Okay, so now I'm just telling it to make the subtitle proper, a little bit bigger. Then we're going to get into this gallery section. Just saying, match this. I'm going to give it no room for, as little room for interpretation as possible is the way to go about it for sure. Okay, this is still not big enough. And then what I don't understand is why doesn't it just do it, right? This is the stuff that's going to get fixed as time goes on. Silliness. But what I'm trying to illustrate though is like, I guess the micromanagement of how you're going to ultimately get things to look the way you want them to look. It's not going to just happen magically. It's going to happen through persistence. Now I need to close this gap to 22px. Shouldn't be any bigger than that. X is pixels. All right. So my mind, we're done here. Now let's move on to this, and all this is super easy. Wow. One thing that really annoys me about this is when it tells me that it's done something and then just doesn't do it. It's like, yay, I did it. Look at, why did I do that? Oh, finally. All right. Officially done here. Gallery. Actually, the background color is something I could probably edit. Let's see if I can just get rid of that. Great. I can. Oh, wait. Cool. I can just adjust that myself. Some things you could adjust yourself, which doesn't make sense, right? Because it doesn't let you adjust a lot of things by yourself. Gallery color, if I could just do something on my own. See, that's going to be the best blend, is when absolute hands-on touching of anything in addition to prompting. That is going to be super. That is not how it is now. Okay. I'm asking it to replace the slideshow products. This is fantastic, man. This is just unbelievable. Let's see what we got. All right, we're closing in on 1 hour. It's okay. Fix error, page not loading. I would assume that they would know that it means loading. I just said that the left and right arrows are not working on slideshow. They will fix it. Oh, so cool. There you go. Look at that. Okay. I need a white rounded background behind just the text with alignment to above containers. So that should all align all the way down. And then again, I'll paste this and this. Cool. Almost there, man. It really doesn't. See how it's telling me the title? It's telling me, when it tells me that it's done things and just doesn't do them. God, is that annoying. And then you tell them, and then they do it. So weird. All right. So give me a little bit. Yep. It did it. Okay. Use this for the 2 columns. I'm going to font right here. Size 19, Rubik, weight 400. So crazy. I just want to get that color right. F3. Here's a little light. What is this one? Look at that. Perfecto. Now, bottom. Yeah. Make the bottom contact band background F3, F3, F3. Now, one thing I want to address is the forms. Replit will make a form for you, but their forms aren't active until you have a form service or some kind of connectivity on your own. So, there's a few things that you can use in this space right here. But at the end of the day, I still think JotForm is going to be your best bet. So I'll recommend for anyone who's doing a rebuild and getting to the end of the contact section, and you're starting to go beyond the build itself and any connectivity or external services or anything like that, I would recommend JotForm, because goofing off with forms in this day and age, it's just not worth it to do it any other way. JotForm has been and will be and always, it's just number one. It's just the best. So my strong recommendation is just get yourself a JotForm account. You don't have to pay for it. Although I think it is a little expensive at $40 a month, but you can use the branded free version just as well. And it does the same thing. It just has their JotForm logo on it. So if money is a problem, or a factor, just use the free version. Because what you're going to get with these kind of default forms is just complexity, spam, nonsense, bullshit, all that good stuff. Jotform just takes all the ridiculous logistics out of making and hosting forms. So that's my strong recommendation for that. And I don't like to link these external forward-facing email addresses. This is it, man. So there you go. So, beyond this, obviously now I have to do what I already pointed out. I'll link to that right here, which is switch over the DNS and cancel WordPress, cancel WP Engine, unfortunately for them. And so real quick, take you back in here to this WP Engine. Actually, before I do that, let me just verify though that it didn't lie to me. Oh my God, so great. See, I didn't even tell it to build a mobile site. That's the best part. It just did it, except that bottom part. Okay, so look, there's a good example. On mobile stack. Okay, so on mobile stack nav options in one column under logo centered. And then I paste in exactly where I'm talking about to direct its attention to that place. And this will be the final move. And I'm just going to move on to just, showing the client and then propagating it, getting the DNS switched over, and it's done. And this is the kind of site, like I said, where the client doesn't really care about a lot of factors that a lot of businesses will obsess over. See, it just didn't do it. Try again, no change. Come on, dude. So this is the factor. The factor is, even though I just saved so much time, there's still a lot of room to save more time as this thing gets faster and more direct. Like if it doesn't make the same mistake 4 times sometimes and becomes smarter about making intuitive moves. So, throughout this build, just this hour, and I'm going to give it an hour and 10 minutes total time, which is, no, Dick, I didn't ask you to do that. See, that's what I'm talking about. This is still nice. I don't care, but that's the time waste I'm talking about. I pasted it in the footer 3 times, but yet I guess there's nothing you can do about that. But it went in and touched the header, main dropdown. Didn't ask it to do that, although it still looks cool, so I'm not going to even worry about it. And then, just like I asked, it fixed it on the bottom, and everything works, and it's done. And that's crazy, really. So look at where we started, screenshots and baloney. And if you look at this, and this is a little different, but I just think this is a little nicer than the way it was on the original. It really doesn't really make a difference, but actually I just don't like that it didn't listen to me with the background image or the background color. I just want the color to be F3, not, I'll give it the exact so that it can identify it. So you're speaking to a robot here. And I think that's where a lot of people fail at AI and understanding AI is they're just talking to a program. At least in 2025, they're just talking to a program. But they start to have these human conversations or think that there's feelings or whatever. It's all just programmatic. It's all just to not really be taken too seriously as a conversation. But you're going to get amazing results and information. And over time, the conversation is going to turn into action. Agents and agentic AI are going to change things. But unfortunately, during the process of this, look at the color just changed. So there's a little more contrast in the form fields. You see, that's all I was trying to get there. Wow, look at that. That's it. Done. Beautiful. So we're going to deploy this baby. We're going to approve and deploy. And what we're going to do here is show the client while it's deploying to its staging URL. I'm just going to pop open. I want to pop open both side by side. Let me see if I can get this baby. It's still deploying. Let's take a look at where it's at. It's almost done. Undid it. Now, once we have a domain associated to this, once it's done deploying, then we'll have the ability to link a domain. And that's the last video that I just made. Okay, so it's been deployed. This is my Replit address. Let's take a little look at the speed at which it loads. And now, if we're just an outsider and we're looking at this, or we're looking at this, what's jumping out? Logo's a little bigger, opacity's a little different. This opacity is a little darker. All in all, it just looks great. So it doesn't really matter. Again, I could obsess over this stuff, but this client and these types of websites, getting into the micro 10 pixel moves or percentages and exact specifics. It's just not worth it. It doesn't make a difference. Where it does, then you get in and dig in to the little details and make it make a difference. Like this old slideshow just looks ridiculous to me. So in my mind, this one's an improvement. The images are so old and grainy, but again, that's what they have and that's fine. It's not my call. It's not for me to decide that. This area, same thing. Just keep going down. Contact, groovy, and that's a wrap. So that's it. So hopefully you enjoyed watching this and seeing the process of a very basic WordPress website migration from WordPress WP Engine to Replit. And now that it's here, I have full control over what I want to do with this thing and can add to it or take away from it in any way that I want, including functionality that needs to exist. See, that's the difference, man. WordPress, Webflow, they're just front end. And obviously WordPress has extensibility into anything that you want to create for it. I get that. But it's so complex that this, when perfected, okay, and maybe it's not perfected, but I was able to get done exactly what I set out to do. So it's perfect enough, but the speeds are going to increase. The ability to listen and understand is going to increase. The time to render out the new previews and show me what's going on and solve problems and debug itself, all of that is going to increase. It's not going to decrease. So the end is near. So I just rebuilt this thing and can do whatever I want with it from this point forth in any way, shape, or form. But the client doesn't, like I said, they're not going to do anything. They just want this site to be up for people who stumble upon it. It's one page. And it's done. So hope you enjoy this. Next one up is going to be a little bit more of a complex build. I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be for a high-end landscape design company that does now a lot of stonework and pools and like really beautiful work. But their website is reflective of 7 or 8 years ago when it was mostly landscaping and landscaping oriented. So we're going to have a little bit of a design enhancement and an upscale of the kind of quality and caliber of work and all that good stuff. We're going to have portfolio involved, and it should be pretty cool to watch. I'm going to keep doing these as I get the jobs and hopefully have enough insight over time for people to either take it on themselves and shake the burden of WordPress altogether, or give me a call if you want help in doing this for you. All right, that's it. Talk soon.